again, beautiful artists, and welcome back to another episode of Paint Along with Skye. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Skye, and I post beginning level acrylic painting tutorials here on YouTube every Saturday. So make sure to hit subscribe if you'd like to join the fun and paint along, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to be notified when I post a new video. Alright, so this week, today we are just a few days away from starting Hanukkah. It'll be the Sunday after the Saturday that I post this, a couple days before right now. And I wanted to do a really beautiful Hanukkah painting with a menorah. Like, we're looking through a window and we're looking at this gorgeous menorah on display for the neighborhood through the little window here. So I have my 4 standard brushes. I'm also going to be using a ruler today. So I have my 4-brush kit that I recommend. Unfortunately, my smallest one got a little bit tweaked. So I have a different detail brush here, but I have a large square brush, a medium-sized pointed brush, and then I have the 2 sizes of detail brushes here. Gonna get those 4 brushes in the water cup off the side of the screen, and then just a basic ruler as well that we're gonna use. Gonna start with the background step today, and the 4 colors that I have to start with are just black and white, as well as some cadmium yellow and some ultramarine blue. All right, there's a full materials list if you'd like to see it of everything that you need to paint along in the description box below. And let's go ahead and jump on in. So I'm going to start with my second to smallest detail brush here, and I'm going to mix up a little bit of gray, and I'm going to go kind of light with my gray here. I want to go too dark, that way it's easy to sort of adjust things. And I'm going to grab my ruler, and we're going to sort of block out our window shape first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come a little bit slightly down here from the top and just use the ruler here to create a rectangle that's going to be on the inside of our canvas shape. So pretty much just the canvas smaller, same shape here, but we're just going in a little bit. It's okay if you have a little bit hanging over, because we're gonna cover that in just a minute. And I want to go up about the same distance on all 4 sides, blocking out where our window is going to be. Want to keep the center clear though. Okay. And last side over here. All right. Okay, now we have our basic window shape here. And I'm actually going to retire that brush for now. And I'm gonna grab my medium-sized brush for the inner window part here. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of light blue. I want this to just kind of look like warmth and blue decorations, maybe a blue wall even on the inside, but it's very stylized because it's, once again, like as if we were taking a photo. It's kind of blurry in the background, which we do sometimes for some of our paintings. So I'm often inspired by a photograph. And I'm gonna come in here and go up and down with my brush strokes, and I want to have a little bit of blue in the center, and then also along some of these edges. And I'm keeping the brush strokes going up and down here, and I don't want to fill the whole thing in with blue, just a little bit here and there. So I'm leaving some white canvas still, and I'm going right to the beautiful edge line here that I created for myself with my ruler and my gray, and I'm covering that sketch line. So that was kind of like using a pencil, only quicker and easier to cover. Maybe not quicker, probably the same length of time. You're always welcome to use a pencil if you want. That makes you feel like you have more control, but you will have to sometimes cover that pencil mark with multiple coats of paint. So just keep that in mind. I'm gonna mix up a light yellow now. Same brush, I rinsed it. And in these white areas, I'm gonna take my yellow, and I don't wanna go even all the way into the blue because it's gonna start to blend to green, and we don't want too much green. It's more about the play of the blue and yellow together. Okay, and these are gorgeous kind of Hanukkah colors as well, I was thinking. So it's like a gorgeous Hanukkah party or something like that on the inside here. Blurring into the background and just kind of like the feeling of warmth. It's such a beautiful holiday. Celebrates the light, and that gorgeous light in the winter is just so warming and very cross-cultural. We have lots of light celebrations, so I find that this painting has a wide appeal, even if you're not necessarily celebrating Hanukkah. It's still okay to recognize other people's beautiful cultures. And you could even just make it a candelabra if you would prefer. But I'm going to show you guys how to do a menorah once we get there. All right, filling in a little bit more yellow here and there, but I want to have a little bit of space even still left over. I like that. It looks pretty. Very like a modern feel already. I'm gonna take some white in between here and just get everything all filled in and maybe a little bit blended together, but it's okay. We want to have a little bit of that streakiness still and just see some of the blue and yellow, of course, as well. So that's about what we're going for here. And I'm keeping the corners relatively colorful because we're gonna put snow there later. So we don't want to get too crazy with the white right now. Just a little bit here and there because we're going to have white in our composition with the snow. Okay, I like that. It can blend a little bit to green, but we're not going for like the vibrant mixed green here. All right, so lovely. I'm just gonna work on the other side now and kind of try to pull it all together. A little bit of streaky, little bit of blended. Always nice to watch it come together. Okay. And even out here, match a little bit. You can always add some more of any color that you like. Add a little bit more blue in, and it is blending to that green, but I'm not gonna overwork it. Okay, I like how our yellow is just mostly in the center here. Again, just giving that feeling of candlelit warmth. Beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and fill the outside whole little section here as well. Rinse my brush fully. And I'm gonna mix up a little bit of a darker gray than what I use for my sketch line. So it's the outside is nighttime. Okay, so pretty dark. But maybe during the day, it's like a gray house or a blue house, and it just looks dark gray at night to us. And I'm going to try to do as straight of a line as I can, coming all the way down. Feel free to sort of brace your hand when you're doing this. Trying to get as straight of a line as possible. Always a little bit wonkier when I have to do it while I'm narrating it. But you can focus and get real close to your painting if you need to. to try to get that line as straight as possible. Okay, we're just filling this whole canvas in with this first layer so that we don't have any white canvas left showing at all. After this step will be finished. Okay, nice dark gray, just going in the direction of the section. I'm gonna grab a little bit of white as well in each section and add just a little bit of variation in the paint just to make it interesting. Okay, and gonna get this part all filled in just the same. And this part you're actually gonna come around here with your brush strokes, creating like a corner. And if you grab some white in this area too, then we're just getting a little bit more of like a weathered look, making it interesting. Again, try to avoid the super solid colors generally. Always looks better to have a little bit of texture. Okay, and then the top part, again, just trying to make it as straight of a line as I can. Little bit of water always in the paint helps it go nice and smooth. It's gonna help it make a straighter line. You can use a smaller brush as well if you prefer. All right, gotta focus. Getting that all filled in as well. Looking good. Making sure I don't have any little peekaboo white canvas showing. Okay. Looking good. And a little bit of white in that section as well. Coming around the corner. And the last area. And once we get this all filled in, we can let this layer dry. Make sure that you have a nice clean line here where the gray comes into your blue and yellow. As straight as I can. Okay. And I might come in later and sort of refine things slightly. You can also move your canvas around. It doesn't have to stay in one place like mine does. If that helps you create a straight line. Like for instance, I'm right-handed, so it's easier to go like that. So you can kind of move it as you need. All right. Don't want to curve corners so much. It's kind of going back over there. And making sure my lines are either horizontal or vertical. Okay, and that looks good. Let's go ahead now and step away and let this layer dry, and we'll come back and add a whole bunch more. I'll see everyone in a few. Okay, welcome back, artists. We have a completely dry first layer here and a whole bunch of rainbow colors here on the palette. We have ultramarine blue, cadmium yellow, and orange. I have a little bit of my favorite phthalo green, some warm burnt sienna type brown, and some black and white. I rinsed my brushes and got some fresh water at break as well. Let's go ahead and jump right back on into it. Okay, I'm going to grab, I think, my smallest brush, little detail brush here, and we're going to jump right into the focal point of the painting. So the most important part, which is of course our menorah. So I'm going to mix up a light gray, few steps lighter than this outside gray color, so more like a pencil gray, and I'm going to make it a little bit off center. Just always looks a little nicer to not center things perfectly. And I'm gonna start with just an up and down line, and this is going to be the center of our menorah. And I brought that a little bit too far down because those grays, that actually is darker, so I'm just gonna touch that up real quick. Brought that too far in there. Just taking a little bit of that gray and starting just with a small, long rectangle type shape. And then I'm going to start flaring it out a little bit here towards the base. Okay, and menorahs come in all shapes and sizes. So you can make whatever kind of design that you like on yours. Gonna do a little circular portion and then have this part really flare out here at the bottom. And that looks like a nice little candlestick holder to me. And then I'm going to do the actual top part as like a little U, but like a long U. And that's how we're going to start with our actual candle holding part. We're going to wait a minute to put the candles in. Start just with our gray. Okay, I rinsed my brush, coming back in with some fresh gray, just a little bit. I want to make sure I don't have a drip on my brush as well. And gonna do a U shape here for the top, two, just like so, and then right directly underneath we'll have the same idea. So these are gonna be like parallel to each other. 1, 2. Kind of just sketching out the shape right now. 3. Coming farther out here each time and ending on that same trajectory, but again we can kind of adjust things. Nice. Okay, and of course there's 8 nights to Hanukkah, so we have 4 U's, making 8 total. I'm going to grab my medium-sized, or second to smallest detail brush rather. And that little one was just too small. I'm gonna come in here and just kind of finesse that shape a little bit. Come back over it a couple times and make sure all my lines are nice and solid. Just working with that medium gray, like a silver color. Okay, and then at the end of each of these, we're going to have another little U shape, and we want that to be the same height, or I guess the center one is a little bit higher, so a little bit lower down. And we'll have have our little candle holders in place like so, just a little bit further down. Okay, that shape is looking good. Okay, oops, a little bit of a drip. And just pull that up really fast with my brush. There we go. All right. And now that I have all of my basic shapes, just gonna come in here and refine things a little bit. And get that iconic menorah shape. Looking good. Just the solid gray color for now. Connecting each side. Okay, very cute. And gonna fill in each of those little U shapes. And we will have our gorgeous base here. And then we'll just have to add our candles. Okay, very pretty. Trying to make sure each one of these is as similar as possible. And making sure they're all the same color too, all the same tone of gray. Okay, looking good. Gonna grab a little bit of like a highlight color and maybe come right through the center and accentuate the curves slightly here on my menorah, since this would be silver, not a gray color necessarily, not a matte gray, so a little bit of like shininess there, and perhaps a little bit of shininess here on the candle holders. If there's a proper name for that, let me know. I'm sure there is, the different parts. That just gives it a little bit of shininess, super cute. All right, I'm gonna rinse my brush and add my candles now. So I'm gonna come in with like a pretty vibrant blue. Gotta do the blue candles. And just a little rectangle on top of each little gray U that you created already. And then we'll have our menorah all in place. And then we just have to light it. Okay. Little rectangles. Feel free to use your smaller brush too, if you feel like that gives you more control. I'm gonna have to order another brush kit because my poor smallest brush, I left it in the water for too long and it got tweaked. Very sad. But that happens sometimes. I'm pretty good at keeping brushes for a fairly long time. Okay. And there we go. This is like the 8th day of Hanukkah, where all of the candles are there. All right, and then we have to do, of course, a little bit of a flame. And we're gonna start by doing a little bit of white with that same brush. I'm gonna do a little white mark right on top of each of these candles. It's very slight. Might be hard to see for now. In just a second, we're gonna grab some yellow. I'm gonna go right around the white. That's also very hard to see, but what we want to create here is orange on the outside. So we're gonna grab a little bit of orange now too. You guys will see in just a minute what I mean. Yellow orange on the outside of the flame, and that will make everything easier to see. So now we have orange on the outside, and then yellow, and then white on the inside for all of our little candle lights. So cute. And a little bit of sort of a curved flame shape on the outside of that yellow. We'll finish off our gorgeous menorah. All right, we're gonna leave that alone for a minute and work on the outside area again and add a little bit of greenery. So our menorah is on the inside of our house, of course, but on the outside, we're gonna have a little bit of festive greenery just to remind us that it is that wintry time of year. I'm going to mix up a sort of grayish brown. So I have my burnt sienna here, and I added a little bit of black and white to it. And I'm going to come on the upper corners here. I'm going to start with creating some branches. So I just have one line first, and then I'm just creating a couple lines that come off of the main one. Super simple, nothing too crazy. We're just adding some sprigs of greenery. And maybe this one comes off like so. That looks pretty good. And we can just go ahead and mirror that sort of on the other side. It's not an exact match, of course, because it's just trees, and trees always take on different forms. And come all the way off the corner. It just kind of frames the whole scene and just adds a really nice wintry feel. And sort of a reminder too, in like the festival of the light, we celebrate the light returning this time of year. And we also celebrate by remembering that some things stay evergreen, right? And that the greenery is coming again too. So I think that's a fitting pair with the light and the green. All right, gonna grab some green now. So I have my branches. I'm going to mix my green with my yellow. I'm going to sneak in a tiny bit of black, not too much though. I still want to have a nice solid green color, but on the darker side. And we're just going to come in here and add some sprigs of greenery on either side of each of those lovely branches that we just created. And maybe we have some greenery coming off the side there. And just on either side, Just some quick brush strokes, just like so. Super simple. Just like that. Okay. And just working my way all around. Very cute. I think it needs one more branch. So I want a little bit more greenery. One branch right there. Can always adjust along the way. Always keep that in mind. Okay, and some more sprigs of greenery. Looking nice right over our window. Okay. And look at how cute that is. All right, gonna go on to the other side now and do that same thing with the same color. Just like so. I think that beautiful dark green evergreen color just looks so nice with these other holiday colors. Very beautiful. I have my blue Hanukkah nails on. But yeah, I think a little bit of greenery just pulls it all together. Looking good. Okay, and maybe some coming off the side there too. And you know, I actually feel like I want to add another branch on this side too. You never know until you try. And then you can always adjust along the way. Good painting advice and probably pretty good life advice too. Last little area of greenery. And I'm excited to add some snow as well. Okay, very cute. Gonna hop back to the other side here. And with some white and that same brush, I'm just gonna come in here and add a little bit of snow onto my greenery. Kind of going right down those same brush strokes. And you can also do a little bit of snow sort of gathered in the tree. So like in the branches here with gravity in mind. Okay. Super cute. A little bit of light, bright snow. I'm a big fan of snow, but it's a novice, or it's a rarity where I live. We usually only get snow a couple times a year, which is probably why I still like it. Okay, and then just adding a little bit of snow along the branches as well. Look at how cute that is looking. All right, we're gonna add some. Okay, this is looking so cute, coming right along. We're gonna grab our ruler again, and you wanna make sure that your menorah is dry and the center part is completely dry for this stuff. And I have a ruler, so I might as well measure. That's about 6 inches, so about 3 inches is going to be halfway here. We're going to create our window in between segments 6, so 3. I'm gonna do a little hash mark right there. And then I'm gonna go across the whole composition here. I'm gonna go a little bit lower so that I don't cut through the top part of the candles. And I'm gonna go across my painting, which is very nerve-wracking, with a very light touch. And then same idea, but the other direction. So this is roughly 9 inches, so we'd have 4.5 would be our halfway mark right there. And I think again, I'll kind of cheat this direction slightly so that I don't go right in the center of one of my pretty candles. And make sure that you have a straight line, as straight as possible. Okay, perfect. All right, and then I'm just gonna grab that same dark gray. And that same second to smallest detail brush, and I'm just gonna come right over those lines I just made and define our window so that it's like it's made out of separate panes. Different sections. You could make really whatever kind of window that you like. I have another painting with a black cat looking out at a city that's really cute, that has a fun like curved shape window, and that would be totally interchangeable with our window today. But I like to have these panes in so that we can add some snow that's sort of collected. And I still have that little hash mark there, so I might come back and refine that if I'm feeling picky. Just like so. Not going too thick of a line so that we can still see very clearly our menorah in the window. And then let's add some snow into the window, clean to that brush. And I'm just gonna come in now with some white. And we're gonna go right along the window pane here, right along the bottom part of the window. And build a little bit of snow into that corner. So cute. A little bit of snow all the way across that window, and then a little bit sort of built into the corner again over here. Okay, so we're getting those really pretty curved shapes, sort of softening that window. Very pretty. We don't want to hide our beautiful menorah too much. We want to make sure that we can still see it as much as possible. Very pretty. It's giving me like classic movie vibes. Okay. And I can use my white to kind of refine things over here. I want to have a little bit of snow built up in the second top part here of these windows, or bottom part rather. All right, and just a little bit of a curve there for that snow as well. Very cute. And then I think some back of the brush snow will be a really pretty touch for this composition as well. Just using the back of that same small brush and just giving the whole thing such a nice and cozy feeling. If you painted along today, I do have a Facebook group that I created for my students to share their work, whether it be from painting along with me or just from your own imaginations. I'd love to see your work over there. Please join us. There's a link in the description box below to join. And we'll have lots of snow here. Great little snow flurry everywhere we look. All right, but that was looking really cute. You can let me know what you thought of today's painting in the comments section below. I would love to hear from you. Please hit like if you liked this painting. That also helps this video get shown to more people, helps the algorithm, so that helps me out a lot. If you can, hit like, and don't forget to subscribe and join us over in the art club, because I can't wait to see what you're painting. And that's all I have for us this week. So until next time, happy Hanukkah, happy holidays, and stay creative.